Good afternoon, everyone. Today we won't have a new lab, but there will be a review over the exam. So those of you who have not or did not make 70 on the first midterm or did not take the exam for any reason, they can have a review before they take the exam on October 17th. That's this Thursday. So if you are not satisfied with your midterm grade or you have missed the exam, you can take the makeup on the 17th from 7 to 8:15 p.m. in the lab. Remember that this class, even though it is online, you need to take all of the exams in class, face to face. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go over the version of the exam that I offered on, I think it was sometimes in October or end of September, I'm not sure. But the exam again will be very similar to this, and this was similar to your review exam. So the question says download the exam worksheet and save it as exam1 _ last name. So here is the sheet. First thing you will do is save it. As exam1 _ your last name. Okay, and it then says add a documentation sheet, enter your name in B3 and date in B4, use the appropriate function. So you need to use a function for date, change the background for the documentation sheet to light green, add labels to cells B3 and B4, change the background of cells B3 and B4 to light blue, add a double line border around cells A3, B4. Okay, so I'm going to add a new sheet and I'm going to call it documentation. And it says B3 here. I'm going to put my name and the date. And remember, the date is a function, so it starts with an equal sign. Today, and as soon as you do that, Excel suggests one for you and it enters the date. Now you are asked also to add labels, so and then change the whole background, the background for the whole sheet to light green, and then change I think it was this to light blue, and then add double borders around. So that's basically it. For question number 1. For question number 3, that was question 2, I'm sorry. So for question 3, it says go to sheet 1, name the sheet real estate listing, enter agency name in cell A1 on 2 lines in the same cell. So again, go to sheet 1, name the sheet real estate listings, enter agency name in cell A1 on 2 lines in the same cell. So I'm going to go to sheet 1 and I'm going to name it real estate listing. and they want me to go to A1, and A1 doesn't have anything in there, and I want to add agency and then name on the second line. And to do that, you hit Alt and Enter. So Alt and Enter will move you to a new line. So again, to enter double lines or multiple lines in the same cell, you write the first line, hit Alt and Enter, and then type in the second line. So I'm going to write here for those of you who cannot maybe hear me. It's Alt plus Enter key. So if you add Alt and Enter key, will add a new line. In the same set. Now 4 says insert a table for the range A1 to M26, name the table listings, sort the table by agency name, then by asking, calculate the average asking price, the maximum and minimum below the table. So I need now to choose A1 to M26, insert a table, and you want to name the table first. So under table design, instead of table name, you will name it listing. So remember, it's under table design that you change the table name, and you need like to sort it. You want to sort first by agency name, then you want to add another level and the asking price. And I don't remember if it asked us from lowest. Okay, so it didn't tell you whether to sort ascending or descending, so both are fine. You can either have it descending or ascending. So that's how question number 4 would be answered. You actually we haven't added the average asking price, the minimum and the maximum. So the average will be equal to average, open the parentheses, highlight all of your cells, and close the parentheses. Your maximum, same thing. Would be equal to max open the parentheses, and actually it says now what is number 1 and what is the end number, so you have to highlight all the range of numbers that you want, like to find the maximum of, and then the last one is minimum, and would be equal to min, M-I-N, here it is. And when you double click on it, it just like open the parentheses for you. So now you need like to highlight the numbers again. Make sure that you do not highlight average or max. You just highlight the number of real estate offerings. Now to auto size, auto fit the column, the row height, just double click. That way you don't have these spaces. So I have average, maximum, and minimum. If I were you, I would bold them so that they are clear for the user. Okay, so that takes care of question number 4. In 5, it says add a column N to the table. Title the column suggested price. Enter a formula in cell N2 to calculate the suggested price, which is a 3% mark down of the asking price. So you want to put 3% down. So here I'm going to add suggested price. And as soon as you add that, you type it in and you hit enter, it automatically adds the column to the table. So now I want it to be equal to the price multiplied by, and now I want to decrease the price. So I'm going to multiply it by 0.97. Why 0.97? Well, 100% is, if you multiply by 1, that will be the same price. I want to mark down the price by 3%, which means you multiply it by 0.97 or by 97%. What will be left after you take the 3% off would be the 97%. And one good thing about tables is that as soon as you hit enter, it will create the suggested price for the rest of the column. So you just like need to enter the formula for just one, and you don't need even to copy. The Excel will automatically autofill the rest of the cells. So again, I'm gonna bold these numbers. The nice thing is actually also calculated the average, the maximum, and the minimum. So see here, no, yeah. So the 55, I need like to format these. As a currency. Okay, so that takes care of question number 5. Number 6 says use a conditional formatting to color code suggested price above 400,000 in red fill with dark red text. So I'm gonna highlight all of my suggested price, and I will go under conditional formatting, highlight cells that are greater than, and they are 400,000 with red fill with dark red text. So let's say I have a customer who like very wealthy one, and one's like or interested in real estate that's above the 400. So here I can list that for you. Again, these are not currencies, so I'm gonna put them in currencies. And I can also decrease the decimal. So here I have the highlights. So remember again, highlight the whole column, go under conditional formatting, choose the appropriate one. If I tell you where is the highest price, I can go to top bottom rules now, and it's not the highest. I have top 10, top 10%, bottom 10, bottom 10%, above average, below average. But I can go over more rules and say, get me the top one. And I want to format it in dark blue, and the fill will be light blue. Let's do that again. I'm gonna use orange. Okay. And the font we'll use, make it black, yes. Okay. So now I know that the 533 is the top one, is the highest price that I have among the listings that I'm showing the customer. So that's the most expensive of all of them. Now on number 7, you are asked to add column O to calculate days in market for each house till the date entered in R1. Add column P and title it further action. Enter an if statement in P2 to test if days in market are greater than 120 days to insert the text reduce price. Otherwise, insert the text keep watching. So I want now to enter a new column that I will title days in market, and this is trying to compare the listing date with this date right here. So I need, like, what, since I have only one date that I'm comparing, the date of a report, for example, then I know that I need to use absolute reference for this particular cell because I only have one of them. Whereas for the rows, the listing price change. So this is, that's in the if statement, I'm sorry. But if you're just trying to calculate how many days it has been in market, there are two ways. One is say, okay, this is equal to the June 30th minus this one right here. And again, I need like to say that R1 is absolute. So always subtract the listing date from R1. Do not change R1, because if I enter, if I don't enter the absolute value, then it will assume that the next line would be R2, R3. It will be relative. But now I have, by telling Excel that I always want to compare R1 with the listing date, then, and I put these dollar signs, then that would do it. So now you have these hashes. That means nothing. It means that you don't have enough space. So don't worry, because some of the we need to format it as a number. So also, let's do that one more time. Or use the so I have it over here. And I need now to format it instead of a date as a number. So I have the exact. Some days is that because I have July, then it's giving me a negative 1 because that's the 1st of July. I'm gonna delete these. So either either you subtract the listing date from this date and make sure that you use R1, or you use the function. I guess some of you have used the 365 date in order to find out the difference between two dates. One thing I need you to be doing is to search. So you can always like search even on the exam. So if you think you don't know something, or you need help with it, then just like go to the web, and let's see, search how to find the difference between dates in Excel. So here is one. Okay, so it says okay, and it tells you exactly what we have done. We have in A3 620, and in A2 you have 68, and all you have to do is just like equal to A3 minus A2. Now you can also have network days, and these are the weekdays between the two dates. So if you are in business and you are trying like to find the working days, then you can use network days, and then subtract that from the other one. So that's a very good example. You can also show the month between the dates. So yeah, always like try and search for things when you are if you are in question about how to do certain or how to solve the thing. I don't want you to memorize. I want them to make sense to you. Of course, a lot of the things, because this is your second course, I assume that you should be familiar. But again, if there is something that you cannot figure it out, go ahead and search it and find out the answer for it. Okay, now we need to write the if statement. So in here we will have recommendation. And the recommendation says that if the days in market are greater than 120, so again the if statement starts with an equal sign, if, and I'm comparing days in market, so I click in there, is greater than if days in market are greater than 120, I need to, and I put a comma. So it's, the first thing is the equal sign, and then the if statement, and then open the parentheses and click inside of the cell that you want to test. In that case, it is days in market, and we want to compare it to 120. If it is greater than 120, then I want to put, I think it says decrease the price or reduce price, yeah. So we will write reduce price, and close the quotation, then a comma, and then what if it is not? What if it is not greater than 20? Then I will write keep watching. And again, you will see, okay, this is 60, it says keep watching, but this is 177, which is above the 120, and it says reduced price. So 150 reduced price, 176 reduced price. So now if I want to highlight the reduced prices, I need to delete all of this because they mean nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight these cells, and I will use again conditional formatting, and I will highlight cells that where it is equal to, and I'm gonna put reduced price. Maybe I have to put it between double quotes. Or we can use just the text. Let's see if it will. It didn't, so and as soon as I type in reduce, it automatically highlights them. So the equal to, now one thing that you would realize that the equal to only works with numbers. So that's the conditional formatting, and it's highlighting everything that has the reduced price. Okay, now it says go to sheet 2, name the sheet pension calculator. And write an appropriate present value function using mixed reference to calculate the present value of monthly payments you can get given the listed interest rate and the years in retirement. Add the present value of monthly payment to lump sum in column E. Highlight the option that will increase your wealth. So I need to have the lump sums, and let me open, because that was actually given in class to avoid like students taking the exam online. So let us see. I think that was so that was that's supposed to be your Excel sheet, and now you want to get the present value of this, given that these are the years, 15 years, and the interest rate is 5%. Let me, to avoid like taking time to upload the video, let me close this video and then record the rest of the exam on a second video. So we will continue after this one.